Al-Qassam confirms the killing of 4 commanders in Gaza.
Here's a summary of the article.
Al-Qassam Brigades, Hamas military wing, announced on Sunday that the commander of its northern brigade, Ahmed al-Gandor, and 3 other senior leaders had been killed during Israel's offensive against the Islamist movement. In a statement released earlier today, Al-Qassam said Gandor was a member of its military council. The U.S. State Department said that Gandor has been involved in many terrorist operations, including a 2006 attack on an Israeli military outpost at the Kerem Shalom border crossing which left 2 Israeli soldiers dead and 4 wounded. Hamas military group announced on October 7 a military operation called Al-Aqsa Flood against Israel, which is the biggest offensive in decades. Palestinian fighters infiltrated Israel from the Gaza Strip and captured military bases and took hostages as photos and videos went viral online showing Hamas fighters on vehicles inside Israel and others paragliding into occupation territory. In response, Israeli armed forces announced targeting Hamas positions inside the Gaza Strip. Thousands were killed, and dozens of thousands of others were injured in the Israeli attacks on the Gaza Strip.
This post received a score of 3,900, with an upvote ratio of 92%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Al-Qassam saying only 4 commanders got killed is as believable as Kremlin propaganda saying they killed 500,000 Ukrainians already.
Or that China only had 3,000 people die from COVID.
I remember that. One small province, New Brunswick, Canada, had more COVID deaths than China at that point.
I lived in China all throughout COVID and in December 2022 it was fucking insane. So many celebrities died of COVID, more than the daily official count just from counting friends of friends' parents, grandparents. The government just stopped reporting numbers right when the mega outbreak happened.
I am absolutely fascinated by this because there was absolutely nothing about it in Western media. Would love to hear more about it if you have the time to write it out.
There are so many wild stories from that time on. China. But yeah, also lots of anti-foreigner racism. Basically at that time, everyone in China blamed foreigners for COVID and the narrative that any COVID getting into the country was due to foreigners. Like they would swab letters and packages sent airmail to China. They swabbed frozen fish from Japan. As a foreigner had lots of stories. One time in a taxi the driver rolled down my window in a rainstorm and locked it. Was absolutely soaking wet when I got to my destination.
For those too lazy to actually read, they are confirming 4 specific commanders that Israel reported dead in the last few weeks, but since they died in the tunnels, their bodies are only now being recovered and confirmed. Israel of course knew they were dead because these were targeted bombings. No, Israel has not only killed 4 commanders, you weirdos. Israel is specifically highlighting the commanders it killed, with thousands more Hamas terrorists killed in the ground offensive and other bombings.
Greater than people saying it's 99% civilian to Hamas death ratio are absolutely insane to me. It's bad faith. They know.
I didn't even know they were sick.
I mean, the video evidence should have been a clue they were sick in the head.
What about the hostages that were alive that they reported dead? No reports from Hamas are credible.
Excellent news. Rest in pieces, you evil bastards.
The question is, where is Mohammed Deif? Neither side has claimed that is dead or captured, and the IDF seem to hold most of Gaza City. The IDF is pulling the bodies of his deputies out of the rubble, but not him. I had assumed they would have found him by now. He is effectively public enemy number 1 and he has once again completely disappeared.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.